Right folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Project Eddie 2015 Colour Therapy. So I'm in my garage at the minute. We're just going to grab some bits out of my toolbox here, then we're going to take a drive up to the unit and carry on where we left off when Jake was with us. So I'll see you up there shortly. Right, so as you can see guys, casted on the ramp, it's exactly as we left it when Jake was up here giving me a hand. As you know, we swapped the front panel over, rad pack, condenser, it's all connected back up now. The car's been running, which you saw in the previous video, to get it up to temperature and bleed all the air out of the system. We know that this doesn't need servicing, so it was only serviced 2,000 miles ago. We checked the oil filter looks like brand new, and Jake checked the air filter, so that's all good. So today we're gonna swap the bonnet over because it's got this little bit of damage up here. Hopefully the camera picked that up all right. So rather than stodge that for the filler, and the bonnet will probably need painting anyway, to be honest, but we're going to swap the bonnet over. We'll check the hinges as well to make sure they're not bent. Once we swap the bonnet over, we know it all lines up. We'll test fit the bumper to make sure that's okay, and then basically get it ready before it goes off to paint. So just going to set you guys up on the tripod now, and then we'll start taking the bonnet off. Right, see how we get on with this then. It's probably a two-person job actually. My daughter is up here today doing some admin for me, but I'll see if I can do it on my own first. I've got to kind of plan how to do it, so we'll see how we get on. Hopefully these new mics are doing what they're supposed to do and record. As you guys know, I probably said in the intro to this video, I had a bit of trouble when we first got them on the first video of this car. I thought they was connected, but they're not. Although they say they're Bluetooth mics, they are, but you have to run them via a separate app. You can't just hit record on your phone and they start working, because it goes to the default setting on your iPhone, which is a right pain. So I've plugged the transmitter in, receiver, should I say, in that comes with them. So you should hopefully be able to hear me okay now. So yeah, sorry about that if the sound quality weren't that great on the previous video, guys. I do apologise. I spent £280 on microphones to improve the sound quality, and it's bloody worse. So sorry. So yeah, to get the bonnet off, it's just 4 10mm nuts, 2 on either hinge. If I was going to put the same bonnet back on again, I'd have just marked round them with a little marker pen and that, you know, but the bonnet's being swapped, so there's no point in marking around it really, because they won't mean anything, will they? So this is my plan to get this off. What I'm going to do is lay it down like that, just so, get them so they're hand tight. Just leave the nuts on there for now. Yeah, I've undone the nuts there just so they're hand tight. One more to go. There we go. They should lift off. There we go, look at that. Dead simple. Just plonk this to one side, guys. Dump this over here for now. Yeah, so it's dead simple. So I'm not sure if that hinge has been bent or not. Or that one. Just grab the other bonnet, guys, and we'll have a little look. So that bonnet's got a dent on it, so I can't trust that one. So I'll just run up to the top of them is. I didn't see the point in putting the bumper on yet and test fitting it until we know the bonnet sits straight, because we might think the bumper's out and it ain't, it's the bonnet. So here's the bonnet we've got. Whoa. plan for doing this. How am I going to do this? Hopefully that'll stay up like that. This is either going to work really well or going to be a disaster, but we'll give it a bash. They're in. So I should be able to get one bolt on that one. Hopefully. Yeah, I'll get a bolt on this one. Sorry, a nut, should I say? Bloody bolt. Get the back one on. It's on there. Right, it's on there loose. Right, sorry about that, guys. My daughter needed to ask me a couple of questions about work, so I had to pause it. So I'm not sure what the best way is to line this up at the moment. So I'm literally just doing them up where they sit, and we'll close it down and we'll have a little look. So I've got no idea what the best way to do this is. I've never changed the bonnet before on one of these, so if any of you guys out there are watching that's got a better way to do it, please feel free to leave a comment. At the moment this is just guesswork, like I say, so we'll shut that down and see where we sit. Right, it's sitting a bit too far over this side and not enough over here, so I wonder if them brackets are bent, or the hinges, sorry, should I say, are bent. So it might need pushing back over that way a wee bit. Yeah, I think they need shoving over there a bit, so we'll give it a little. I don't know, I should be able to do that with a bonnet, shouldn't I? That's the idea of having square holes in it. I do think the hinges are slightly bent, if I'm honest, but if we can get the adjustment in them holes, happy days. So let's see if that moves over. I think that one might have moved over a wee bit. In fact, let me put the prop up. Sorry, I'm making a right pig's ear of this, guys, sorry. So it's the first one that I've done. Maybe look in there. Right, that's as far over as it goes, I think. Needs to come forward a bit as well, actually. Right, guys, sorry about that. I had to pause you guys for a sec, because I was having a bit of a struggle. So what I've established is that the bonnet hinges were definitely bent. So I've whipped them off. The new bonnet's there, ready to go on. The old bonnet's just up there. You can see it just up there out the way. I'll show you what I mean. So lucky enough, I've got a spare pair of hinges here in silver, but I've actually ordered a can of red 111A from the paint shop, which is being delivered this afternoon, so we can spray them and put them on. So I'll just give you an example. Make sure I get the right hinge. So if you look at, I think that's probably the best one. If you look at that one there, if you can see how far that is when I stand that flat. If I show on this one here, so I'm just trying to think the best way to do it and show you guys. I don't think you can't really see the difference, actually, to be honest. But basically this hinge has gone over quite a bit. It's moved by about 10 mil. And the same with this one here. I mean, you can see if I'll spin it around actually, probably be easier this way. You can see that's pretty much touching the bench and that's flat. When you compare it to that one. So them red ones are definitely bent. I'm not going to piss about trying to bend them back. I've got a spare pair of hinges, so we'll get them painted, we'll get them on, then that bonnet should line back up. So what I've done, in the last video, I don't know if I told you, or the last clip, sorry, Jake has kindly wire brushed and cleaned up these wheels for me. So I'm just going to give them a little bit of a going over with Scotch pad there. Then I'm going to etch primer them and give them a bit of satin black. So to protect the tyres, I've got these spray out cards. I think Paul, Love 500, uses them, and that's where I got the idea from, rather than some playing cards. So they just tuck, obviously I'll let a bit of air out the tyres if I have to, but they just tuck in there like that, all the way around. I'll probably do it that way actually. If I'm going that way, yeah, I'll probably do that. They go all the way around, you can just spray the wheels, and you ain't got a bit of a masking up the tyres. So I'll set you guys up on time lapse on the tripod while I do this, and then I'll come back to you once I've done them, and we'll see what they look like. So cue the funky music and enjoy. Right guys, we're back. They've had 2 coats of etch primer, and I can't remember if it's 2 or 3 coats of satin black. I think it's 2 actually, but they're not perfect, don't get me wrong, but I think you'll agree they'll look miles better behind the hubcaps than their horrible rusty sort of colour steel behind them. So it's just to freshen them up and give them a nice look behind the hubcaps, and that, you know, we're not going to obviously take the tyres off and shot blast them, it's just not worth it, but it's just freshened them up and made them look a bit nicer, say, once the hubcaps are on. So I've dried them off a little bit with a heat gun, as you can see on the floor there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let them dry a bit more. That will get the car back up in the air that's on the ramp over here. So that's my ankle keeps clicking, I don't know why. Sounds like I was pegging an elastic band. Yeah, we'll get this car up on the ramp a bit higher once them wheels have dried off. I'm probably going to order a new set of rear dampers, because I said to you in the previous clip, I think that that bush looks like it's splitting. So if I think about 35 quid, we'll replace both the dampers. We know they're done for the MOT then. I might wire brush off that rear axle and give a little coat of wax oil. I don't know. Sometimes they pick it up, don't they, for a corroded axle. Sometimes they don't. I don't think it's that bad. A lot of it's just road dirt, but it just makes it a little bit nicer on the eye, doesn't it? Nothing else has happened around here since you guys have been on time lapse. I'm still waiting for the red paint to turn up so I can spray them hinges. So once that turns up, we'll spray the hinges, we'll get that on, and then hopefully we'll get this bonnet on today and get the bumper on, like dry fit that, get that lined up, so that we know it's all going to fit and everything's going to be straight before it goes off to the paint shop and have the bumper painted. There's not loads of stuff to do on this car, to be honest. It's just obviously the wheels, the bumper's got to be painted, Just give it a service and give it a clean. Lucky enough, I say, we've already done the front panel and swapped that over. I noticed, I don't know if I said to you in the previous clip, it's just caught the front of that wing just there. I don't know if you can see it. It's just, I don't know if you can see that little mark there. It's just tapped that round a bit. So I might heat that up and see if I can just pull that back round. I'll see what it looks like once the light's in there, but it's just caught it slightly there. I don't want to replace the wing for such a trivial little mark. If I have to, then I will. I've got a spare wing there, as you can see in the box there. So if I have to replace the wing, I will. But I reckon we can do something with that. If not, I'm sure Fraser can. So I don't know if I've showed you the inside of this car for a while, but I've not done anything to the inside of it yet. It's obviously all still needs cleaning. It's filthy. Mileage on this one, 51,000, as you can see. So hopefully we'll be able to nail this one in, I reckon, another 1 or 2 videos. So yeah, to wait for the wheels to dry, and then we'll take it from there. Right, it's the next day, guys. The paint didn't turn up to paint the hinges until I think it's about 3:30 yesterday. So I quickly sprayed them. I'll show you actually. So I gave them 2 coats of etch primer and then 3 coats of 111A red. So the hinges are all painted now, so we'll get them on in a sec. Before I came up the unit today, I stopped off at EU, which is where we get a majority of our spares from. Bought 2 rear dampers, which are there, and some wax oil for the rear springs and the rear axle, just to make sure that we don't get an advisory on the MOT when it goes in. So the rear dampers was, where is it? I think they were about £17 plus the VAT each. Yeah, £17.42 each plus the VAT. So it wasn't too bad actually. I say for about 35-40 quid, it ain't worth messing about and taking a risk. For 35-40 quid, we'll just change them. And we always change a pair, we never just change one. I got a tin of black wax oil, I think, over on the bench over there. But I thought I'll try the clear one as well. So I'll see which one I think I'm going to go with. But I might just go with the clear one, to be honest, rather than the black. So I've got that as well. So I don't think the rear beam or rear axle on this is actually that bad. But it's not going to hurt just to give it a spray of wax oil anyway, is it, to help protect it. I say, well, we'll change them dampers. I'll probably do them and the rear beam on time lapse. You've seen me do the rear dampers before. If you go back and look at Project Playboy, the 2014 Red Sport I had, you'll see me do the dampers on that in real time. It's literally 5-10 minutes aside. It's just bolt there, a bolt here, and that's it. That damper will come out, and then you just hold on to the trailing arm here, get one bolt in, and then just lift it up and get the other bolt in there. So it's dead simple. Anyone can do that. So once we've changed them and we've wax oiled it, we should be able to get the wheels back on today, and then test fit that bumper which is there to make sure that's okay, ready for it to go off to Fraser's to be painted. Oh, we've also got to fit the bonnet, haven't we, once we've got them hinges on. So the wheels came out a treat, to be honest. Look at them. So once them hubcaps are on there, they look lovely. So yeah, I'll set you guys up in time lapse, and then you can see me do this, and I'll come back to you shortly. So once again, cue the funky music and enjoy, guys. Right, so we're back. I'll just show you underneath, guys. So I cleaned it all off with the elbow grease, and then I sprayed some wax oil all across the beam. I took the springs out as well, you probably saw on the time lapse. Cleaned all around the spring housings and that. Cleaned it all off and then sprayed some wax oil on there, and then I just wiped it all in with a microfiber cloth. I think you'll agree, looks pucker. So there's no way that should get an advisory for a corroded rear axle or rear springs now. To be honest, I'm going to probably do this on every car now for how long it takes. It was easier when I took the dampers out, to be honest, because the rear axle swung down a bit lower when you drop. If you take both the dampers off, the rear axle swings down far enough, the springs just fall out, and you can get right round the back of the axle with the wax oil. So that's what I've done. And the bits that I couldn't quite spray it in, I wiped it in with the microfiber cloth. So that's all been wax oiled now. I wiped the springs over with the elbow grease. I've not even wax oiled them, but you know, they shouldn't get an advisory. It's got 2 new rear dampers now, as you can see. So that's all good. The damper bolts, I always copper grease as well. Same as the wheel studs, I've copper greased as well. I've just got to take these bits of tape off. But yeah, the wheels are back on now, so that should all hopefully get a clean bill of health there. I'm going to start doing this on every car now as well. Just give the front springs a wipe over. Again, they've not been wax oiled, they've just been elbow greased. And the same as the shock absorber and that, or the leg, or whatever you want to call it. So that shouldn't get an advisory. And the same on the passenger side. Again, it's just been elbow greased. It's not been wax oiled or nothing. It's been cleaned up, so that shouldn't get an advisory either. Brake discs don't have a lip on them. The brake pads have probably got a good 8mm on them, so they're all good. I'm going to probably put the bonnet hinges on now. I'm going to whack them on. I'll get the car a bit lower down. I'll probably test fit the bumper. So I'll just zoom out a little bit, guys. There you go. So I'm probably going to test fit the bumper to make sure that's okay, and see how it lines up with this little bit here. And then if that's all okay, I know that should be good to go to the paint shop. And what I'll probably get Fraser to do is I'll get him to spray the bumper off the car. He'll temporarily fix it, and then he'll blend it into the front wings, and I'll probably get him to paint the bonnet as well, so I know it all matches. It'll cost a bit more money, but as I said to you guys before, perfection over profit, you know. So I'm probably going to have a cup of tea now and some lunch because I'm starving. Every cup of tea I make myself up here, I always forget about it and it ends up going cold, so I'm determined to finish a cup of tea today. So I'll have a cup of tea now quickly, and then I'll get them bonnet hinges on and I'll be back with you guys. So see you shortly. Right folks, we're back. Cup of tea finished, and sausage roll, and we're back at it. So the bonnet's on now, obviously the hinges are on, the bonnet's on. I've had to drill out these 2 brackets, the wing to bumper brackets, because if you can see the end of that snapped off there on both sides, so the bumper probably ain't going to clip in properly. They're 20 quid off of eBay for a new set, so I've ordered them. I just thought I'd offer up the bumper to make sure it's all going to line up before it goes off to paint. So I know when it comes back, I'm pretty confident that it'll all square up. So I'll just show you what I mean. I'll set you up on a tripod here. There, hopefully, like that. So obviously you can't clip this in at the moment because the bracket ain't there, as I just showed you. But once that's in there like that and done up, you can see that should be holding there nice. The gap's all nice around here. I've got the bonnet as best I can. It's probably, I'd say it's probably 95% perfect if I'm honest. If I can get it a bit better, I will. But if not, that's how it's going to stay. The gap's uniform all the way around this side, as you can see. First time I've had to change your bonnet, to be honest, and I don't really fancy doing it again, especially on your own. So you can see there's just a little dent there on the bonnet, another one there. I think I'd done that in the van when I brought it back from the salvage yard. It's a bit of a shit, but hey ho. You can probably tell on the camera now, this bonnet came off the same car as the passenger door did on Project Mike, the 2013 Stolen Recovered that you've seen on a previous video. And I said to you it was a shade out. On this car you can see that obviously the bonnet's definitely a couple of shades out. So that's going to get painted. We're not going to leave it like that. So when Fraser does the bumper, I'll get him to do the bonnet and then blend it into the wings, and whatever it needs it will get. So just show you around the passenger side. You can see around here. So once that's got the bracket in there and that's all clips up nice, you can see that all sitting there lovely. So bumper as usual we got from Prasco. I think it was only about 80 quid. So good value really, and it's next day delivery as well. If you order it up until I think about 3 o'clock today, it will be here next day. Unless it's a weekend, it's usually here next day at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. So the quality service from them. Because we get such a good price on the bumpers and such a good delivery, I never really see the point in buying a second-hand bumper and having to paint it myself. I'd much rather get a brand new bumper, pattern part admittedly, but they're insurance approved. I'd rather get a brand new bumper, send it off to the paint shop, and have them paint it. I think, for me personally, I don't think I'd get the quality finish as what I'd like. And when you add up the price of primer, base coat, and then lacquer, you're saving. I mean, that's going to cost what, 60 quid? You're saving £40, and you've got to do it yourself and hope it comes out all right. So it just don't make no sense to me to do it. And I say I probably won't get as good a finish as what some people do. But yeah, so you can see how it's starting to take shape now. Obviously, we've got the wheels back on. So now I know that bumper's going to line up, I can put the front wheels back on, get this back on the ground now, and then I'll probably get it out the workshop, ready to go to Fraser's early part of next week. Right, folks, we'll probably wrap this video up here for today. The next time you see this car, it'll have come back from Fraser's, the body shop, so the front end will all be repainted. Hopefully, it should just be a case of cleaning it, sending it off for the MOT, assuming it passes. It'll be going up for sale, hopefully, in the next 1 or 2 videos. So if you need to get hold of me or you'd like to contact me for any reason, you can either leave a comment or you can contact me at jt500salvage@hotmail.com, or you can head on over to my Instagram page, which is jt500_salvage, and you can message me there. You can also see various cars we've got for sale, cars we've sold in the past, and all sorts of sort of behind the scenes footage of the cars being repaired and stuff and whatnot. So there's loads more stuff on there, to be honest. So if you don't subscribe, but you do watch the videos, please subscribe, because it really does help the channel grow and get it out to more people, and I appreciate it. I reply to all the comments that everyone leaves for me. They're all really nice and positive, so thank you very much. And that's it. So thanks very much for watching. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys.